Hi everyone, Sylvia here. First of all, I wanted to thank everyone for joining my Viennese Waltz class. I wanted to recap in just a few words, but actually nice and slowly now, what we've been doing in the class. So you now have video of all the different things we've gone through. We've talked about frontal plane, creating good posture, bringing the center of levity above and in front of our center of gravity, which is from the belly button slightly lower as well. And we've talked about creating a frontal plane, which also, in conjunction with that, even though you've not used the word, is also in dancing, combining a sagittal plane and a frontal plane. The frontal plane divides the front from the back, and the sagittal plane divides one side from the other, either left to right or right to left. And when we dance, we tend to actually create a larger base when we get to higher levels, which actually creates somewhat of a sideward action as we move forward. Because we never dance straight with our legs really close together in our smooth or standard dances. We've also talked about rotational plane, which divides the upper half of the body from the lower half of the body. And that can also be called transversal plane. So that's when we did the exercise of actually rotating from the waist only. We weren't turning our entire body, not our hips, but only splitting or cutting off the top from the bottom. So we're isolating upper half from lower half. And as you can see, my knees are not moving, only my upper half is moving. And that is our rotational plane. When we dance, we incorporate rotational plane in the smooth and standard dances. And in Viennese Waltz, we would actually create a rotational plane to get into our swing action. And that's where I'm going from there. Our swing action is when we actually use the hips to create swing. And if we went to the other side, we would create the swing on the left side. And our exercise was actually to have one arm up and one arm in front of us, which is a ballet position. This would be third, and this would be a crossed third position. And so the exercise was we kick the leg up, and it doesn't have to be high, and then we stretch one side of the body to the other, creating oppositional stretch. So as you can see, my hand is going away from my left foot and hip, and my hip is actually lifted. So I'm creating a swing action as well. Then I'm going back to neutral, doing it again, and you can do it 10 times on each side. I can go to the other side, and now I would kick with my right leg, and I would actually create the oppositional stretch on the other side. This arm up, this arm down, stretched away, and this hip would be slightly higher than the left side. So, but I'm still picking up my back. Both sides of my body are being picked up. But anyway, that was a few of the exercises we did. We also did the mastery of creating good Viennese Waltz, which is every time we close one after the swing and we close the right foot to left foot, we slide the whole foot in. So in other words, if we do the back side of a reverse, we would go back, we would swing, and then the right foot would be the whole foot coming in. If you notice, my left heel is still up. We're not going to do this. We're not going to get to that foot and then try to slide this in. We're going to keep that heel off the floor. We're going to get onto the foot, and we're going to slide that whole foot in. That was the first point. The second point was creating straight lines. So when we dance, we go forward, forward. And this foot keeps going forward until such time that our right foot, if we're going to the left, turns, pivots, and then we close left foot to right foot, and now we prepare for the next step, which is the half back action. And if you notice, I'm going to also go straight back, and then rotate, and here I create that whole foot action. That's the linear movement, and then we have a third, and the third was he goes, she goes, or she goes, he goes, depending on where the partners are in the turn. So if I begin and initiate the movement, she goes and she opens up the hip. I stay back. She keeps opening up the hip. Then I go, and she will not get onto her foot until I get onto mine for the crossing action. So that one's a little bit more elaborate. We'll be getting into that at higher levels in how we create fast speed and movement through delay and acceleration of movement. But anyway, thank you for attending, and I'll see you in class on Tuesday at 7 p.m.